guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to you guys, and hopefully you're enjoying Autism Awareness Acceptance Month of April 2019 as we are nearing or fast approaching Autism Awareness Acceptance Month of 2019. I just want to clearly share with you all right now of what I'm going to share with you based on these autistic related topics are based on my journal excerpts of the afterthought, and also based on my experiences and some things that has been arising in the autistic community groups I've been in via whatever it may be. And in saying this, I just want to share this one on my journal blog of being an autistic, what it means to be, obviously. And in saying this, hopefully you'll enjoy these, and if you're into any of these, feel free to subscribe on the bottom right hand corner, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell, because I'm hoping to do some more of these now and in the future, not just on Autism Awareness Acceptance Month, but hopefully after this month, so to speak. And if you guys got any suggestions for me, please feel free to comment below. Also, what you want to actually allow me to talk about as a sit down vlog, be it, you know, hopefully something that is maybe mental health related or autistic related that I haven't clearly addressed. If you're new, basically feel free to actually either after watching this video, do a quick catch up of what I do on my playlistings of some of the ones I've done for the Autism and Aspergers Syndrome Help Central playlist versus also just Life of an Aspie playlist. I think I put under of some of the things that I've done as a journey, kind of follow me vlog, so to speak, so that you can gain a better understanding as me as a person. So let's begin this from this journal vlog. Wow, just wow, what can I say? This is so mind-blowing and overwhelming for me. I mean, I do know what I mean and know what I want to say to you all, just as an afterthought, knowing that there are many others like me, surprisingly enough, as we know. But my experience, life as an autistic, was different to me, which is fair enough, because we are all different, unique beings, you know. And saying this, we are all different in every other mean, autistic or not. You know, I believe every autistic, or anyone for that matter, has a different story to tell or share. As well as saying this, basically, of the autistics that I have spoken to or know of, basically, will obviously be willing enough to actually share the experiences on the platforms and so much more. While I'm sitting right here right now, you know, I never thought I would write this down in my journal, my online journal, of course, of my thoughts. But here I am today, I'm sharing it with you today, based on what I want to share with you all, sort of thing. And hopefully that you guys are ready to hear what I have to share, because obviously I'm ready. So words cannot describe how much I wanted to write and someday spread this message. Don't get me wrong, I was a bit fearful after finding out about my life story about it, you know, how I'm going to address it to you all and how I wanted to spread this message, you know. But I should have done this many years ago, you know, maybe after my diagnosis and once I knew about YouTube or some form of platform to open up. But bear in mind, I was a bit fearful of what I wanted to, you know, share with you all, because as we know, sometimes many of us may be brave enough to share the whole entire story of our life with whatever it may be and whatever reasoning behind our, you know, sharing or wanting to be. But as we know, basically, regardless of me feel I should have done this years ago, I am here now, obviously after 4 years, sharing with you on the platform as well as on my Life on Aspie blog page that I've started up, that we know that the world is continually changing. It changes every day and it goes ever so quickly, and boy, I mean quick. With these changes that comes into play, and all of it that comes with our everyday challenges that we may face, no matter what it is, big or small. I never knew why autism would be or could be complicated, misunderstood or frustrating for so many of us who has been diagnosed with this, or some that hasn't and are still looking for the diagnosis if it is that. I am so surprised about how it's acceptable to be discriminated, stigmatized, stereotyped, and so much more for somebody like us to say to any of us that we don't look autistic enough to be an autistic. We hear this so many times before, or what have you. There are other many common statements we've shared, you know, have heard also time and time again, which I'm sure I've actually shared this in one of my videos. I'll check on my playlist, and if I have, I'll link it in the description and icon above me. But in the meantime, basically, sometimes when we hear that common statement, it's sometimes out of curiosity or just plain straight out ignorance, not knowing, not wanting to know or be aware that this is real and does exist. Believe you me, autism does exist, guys, like many other mental health problems or illnesses, we could say on off the bat here. Anyways, in saying this though, really, it's impossible to deny how autism can affect so many even today. As we know, a long time ago, however, autism awareness was miles away, and everything we have now didn't exist back then. I can't imagine to live in a world with no awareness in this present day. I believe that with the quote I shared just recently in the last post that I wrote, that the first step towards change is awareness, and the second step is acceptance. And another one below you, as you'll see on the screen above you, is another one about acceptance. Still, autism can be seen in a different light. In this case, it's words, written or verbal communication. When I was researching the term for autism, I found that according to the Oxford Dictionary, autism is a mental condition which can include having difficulties of communicating and forming relationships. It's like, as I was sitting there writing this like definition, it's like, I mean, come on, guys. The Oxford Dictionary, however, doesn't tell us how people see autism. An online dictionary, however, of some kind on Google defines autism as a developmental disorder of variable severity. It's characterized by difficulty in social interaction and communication, and by restricted or repeated patterns of thought and behavior. Needless to say, again though, as I said before, every autistic that has been diagnosed will develop different traits and characteristics of it. So every autistic will be different, as I said so many times before. Autism is something that can't be written or read, however. It can be seen as a jigsaw puzzle piece. Here we go, guys, before I continue. This is just my afterthought, so please bear with me. If any autistics are watching and don't agree with this, please respect my valid opinion that's going to be brought up about a jigsaw puzzle piece or that or not other, because obviously it's just based on my opinion here, and in saying this also, hopefully I won't put you off altogether. But moving on from that, it can be seen as a jigsaw puzzle piece where it can fit within us. Every piece we place becomes a person, not a label, but a gift we are born to have. And as I said before, autism can be a blessing or a curse. Many of us may see it as both, many of us may see either or, which I have talked about autism's blessings or curse on my channel, I think, which I'll link in the description and icon above me if I have, and you can watch for yourself about autism blessing or curse. Many others will view autism differently. Okay, from an article I read from, which I'll reference below, what autism is like, from the Mighty website, there has been responses from many autistic adults that varies, and their responses when they discussed it with the Mighty writers that has helped with this, when they were answered the question of how do you see the world differently from neurotypical individuals, and the next question to ask these autistic adults were, what do you want people to know about the strengths of your unique perspectives? Here's some of their responses. Okay, number one was, I see the world, Susan E. said, I see the world the way Zacchaeus in the Bible did when Jesus made his triumphant return to Jerusalem. While everyone else was crowding around the gates and along the path he was taking, pushing and shoving and so on and so forth, Zacchaeus decided to climb a tree, watch from up there, out of the harm's way. It gave him a unique vantage point. Without intending to, he drew attention to himself and got mocked by the crowds for it. But Jesus befriended him, basically because Jesus respected his unique point of view. Just because it's different doesn't mean it's wrong. Number two, by Jennifer K from the Resources of Autism Talk, shared this. I have this capacity for joy that others don't seem to have, or at least not in quite the same way. I don't always express the joy on the outside very well, and it can be quieter than the way it would be to look onto other people, but there's inside of me, and I think people see it if they look hard enough. No matter what I'm going through, however, I am able to separate it from the joys in life, and I can still find deep, wondrous joy even in the darkest of times. The sunlight shining through bare branches and making patterns on freshly fallen snow is beautiful to me, even in April. The feeling of a purring cat on my lap, the first sip of a perfectly brewed cup of coffee, a happy little chickadee at the bird feeder, all these little tiny joys throughout my day, being experienced and cherished as full as possible, even through grief and pain. Don't get me wrong, it can be harder to reach sometimes, but I still try and I almost always succeed. I don't know if it's because I experience things more intensely or if it's that detail-oriented part of my brain that picks up on all these small details, or maybe it's both. I just know that people are often surprised when they hear about how much I am enduring with my health and loss and other life troubles, and they often comment on my positive attitude and my strength. It seems to be something unique to me that a lot of people have more trouble achieving. I can't quite put it into words. I just know it because of my autism and because of that one little but very big thing. I wouldn't trade my autism for anything. Number 3 by Yvonne T says, it's loud, bright, flashy, and it hurts, but I can't get away from it. Sometimes it's a good thing, and sometimes it may not. I've learned where my personal limits are, but I can't always tell people I'm at that limit, that my life. I wish sometimes I had a Walden cabin, but I don't. And please, for the love of God, stop calling me my genetic makeup a disease. My suffering isn't from a virus, which is the autism, isn't my literal fibre, it's genetic. 4 by Brooklyn says, I see the world as a confusing and huge place. Because of it, I take everything all at once, and as a result, I don't always like being at social gatherings. I would like people to know that people with autism are just like everyone else, and despite the level of whatever, we're all human. We're not a disease, not an experiment for science, and last not least, not the people media portrays us to be, like the Rain Man or atypical. We grow and progress just like everyone else. We don't stay the same like the media seems to portray us. I want to see the real person, not what the media portrays. I'm done with these misconceptions. End of story. Number 5. For many years, the only way I could make sense of my different experience was having the belief that life was a play and everyone but me had the script. I was an experiment that offered some comfort as I saw everyone else managing things so easily that I struggled with. Katie K. I see the world as if... That was by Katie K. This one's by JP. Last one of the statements is, I see the world as if I were an alien from another world. I observe the people in my surroundings, learning from them, and at the same time, unaware what's going on around me. I'm there, but I feel isolated as if for some reason I don't belong and have trouble connecting to this world or strange planet. I don't understand a lot of what is said and done. I'm curious to become involved, but at the same time keeping my distance so that I don't see things that make... In a statistic, it has been known for 1 in every 150 people in the world has been diagnosed with autism. That's about 0.6 of the world's population. Autism can be challenging for many of us individuals, not just the individual itself, but our family and friends. Every day they have to go through situations like meltdowns, unexpected sudden changes and diversions, oversensitive to noise, sight, smell or taste, or travelling by themselves. Turning a blind eye on autism, however, is just downright cruel, and it can cause so much judgment, isolation and fear, and so much other negative connotations. This can also lead to sadness and guilt about one's self-identity of a person with autism, because many autistics will actually question themselves if they're the problem. They'll have self-doubt about themselves based on their self-identity of who and what they are as a person, autistic or not. And identity is important for everybody, and every identity, obviously, as we know, tells a story, a different story as a matter of fact. Stories are vulnerable and valuable to everyone. They shouldn't have to be shut away from the world. They shouldn't be discriminated, nor should they be stereotyped. Every page needs to be turned, so all of us needs to be respected, and so much more. So why am I thinking about this right now? Why am I so passionate about this? Well, I just want to let go of my past. Let's be real. Want to let go of all the things that have hurt me and my loved ones too. I never had the strength to write about my feelings or tell anyone about them until now. Now that I have come to my senses or what have you, or gain up the courage, whatever you want to put it on me, I can finally say I am going to let everything go. All the guilt and doubt was all there, but not for long. At this very moment, I'm trying out an idea. I'm unsure how it will work out, but I hope it will help me out to be more and feel more confident, as well as for hopefully asking for the same for the autistics. Next I feel sad or guilty. I'm going to stop and start to rethink. When I think about this, I'm going to try to imagine and spell out the word autism as an acronym. A is for acceptance, And the question you will ask for in this is the world accepting me? If not, why not? U is for understanding. Does the world understand autism? Does the world understand me? T is for trust. Does the world trust me? Allow me to try? I is for identity. What's the story behind me? Do people see me for the real me, or do I only see myself as what I see myself as? S is for say. Say how you feel and mean what you say. Many people get this wrong. What's the one thing I can change about today for one thing? M is for mighty. Remind yourself how strong you are. You are mighty and you can do anything when you put your mind to it. And it's true, anyone can do anything to make a possible change in this world, big or small, if they choose to. Although I've been called weird, a kid, or stupid, or whatever other label mentality, you know, I'm going to start to think about me for more of me. Sure, yes, I am different. Everyone is, but I am special and unique. I'm one of a kind. I don't care what people think of me anymore. I'm starting to learn to this right now. But I just have to learn to deal with it and deal with me, or just the actual being of my being. I know who I am, and I can take away from all forms of negativity. I'm not alone because I feel accepted by the people I love. You know, I feel accepted by the ones that actually really understand me. My world is going to be inclusive, and when it will be, I will promise to treasure everything and everyone around it that you have, and remember that life is just the start of a new beginning, a new lease of life for me. With the world continuing to change, however, why not share our stories? Why not start pushing ourselves, and why not start to raise our voices for what we truly believe in? And with our voices to stand up on, to always stand up for what we really believe in. Why should we be shut out to a point of not being able to express ourselves? Again, based on our studying and whatever else. Changing the world doesn't happen with the tap of a pen or reading a book or with the magic wand abracadabra. It's about taking action. Anyone can do this, for that matter. We all have the power to raise our voice and coming out of our comfort zone. It's easier than you think. Even though I'm trying to learn now to get out of my comfort zone and speak to you guys some of the uncomfortable topics, as you're aware of today. We've proved people wrong by letting the good things in. They can only happen if we do something. I've proved people countless times, but that doesn't mean I could stop. Obviously, I've also proved people wrong time and time again of what they think of me, of all these, you know, so-called terminology that I don't wish to hear call these people haters. I may be insecure, you know, and all these other emotions, but deep down I'm more than that. I know that I'm more than that. I believe I'm more than that, you know. I'm an individual in myself. I was born to be autistic for a reason. I was born to be autistic so I could change the world. Here I am today proving that fact, that I'm trying to be an advocate and an educator for you all. I never realised that until now, but I'm glad I managed to figure it out before it was too late for myself. I'm going to try and push myself. I'm going to make friends with those who see me for who I am and what I am as a person, not as just an autistic, but just for the whole being of me. But most importantly, I'm going to be me. Allow myself to express myself the way I feel deems fit for me. No one else can tell me how to act, say or think. I am in control of my own actions, thoughts, and so much more. Me, myself, and I, and when I die, I'll die. Know that I have changed the world to make it inclusive for us all. But until then, I will continue to do what I'm doing right now. However, I will say this. I recognize and accept my story, and although it may not be finished, it's just the beginning. I know that I'll continue to shine like the sun, shine like the stars above us. I may be autistic, but I'm proud of everything I have done and accomplished, and what I'm about to do. I'm proud to be alive, have loved for autism, and just being loved in general as a whole. And I have a voice to say I'm autistic, and I'm proud to be who I am and what I am. So this quickly ends the next video over for this. Hopefully you like this. Smash the like, comment below, follow me on my social medias as it comes up. Feel free to also purchase my merch. As you can see, I'm wearing my merch today, but it's not the right one. Humbly apologise. I was going to get the other one, but I was actually running out of funds to do so while I was designing, so I'm leaving it in the booklet for you guys if you're interested. The merch store will be either in the description box below or on the screen to actually go visit. Feel free to do so if you want to. Feel free to also, in saying this, basically support me on Patreon if you want to see more of my future videos, because every little bit counts, because obviously, as you know, I want to follow my dreams of advocating and educating you all as long as I can, and without these funds I won't be able to create these videos. Also hopefully have the courage in the near future, if I get enough funding, to actually go overseas and maybe meet you all, regardless if you're autistic or not, or just people I may have met in general on the, you know, Facebook groups of YouTube and whatever else it may be. So for the day, guys, thanks for support. That's watching. Do what love it do. Until next time, I'll see you again soon.